Welcome to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I'm your host, Jackie Hermans. It's spring! Whoop, whoop. Yes, it feels so good to have spring in the air and have that sunshine and some warmer weather. It's been amazing. So I just want to say congratulations, everyone. We've made it through this. Yes, we still might have a snowstorm here and there, but we've, light at the end of the tunnel here. We've got this. We're going to have a great show. So I previously interviewed two representatives from the Fall Fair Committee. And so, yes, the Fall Fair, it's going to happen. So you'll be finding out more about that. It is Heart Month. So we'll be talking to a pharmacist about hypertension, helping you to stay healthy, keep that healthy heart. And we're going to be talking to Liliana from Rutledge Jewelers, helping you to maybe reinvent a piece, helping you to keep a beautiful memory of something that's important to you, or to find that perfect piece that speaks to you right within Rutledge Jewelers. So make sure you keep on watching, and if you want to find out how you can be on the show, make sure you stay to the end, and we'll let you know how. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
It was our 35th anniversary. To celebrate, we were on our way to Mama Rosie's, where we had our first date. That's when we heard coming from the radio. So we stopped and listened. It helped us get to safety. So when I think of our anniversary, because now we have even more to celebrate.
Think it's too late to become more fit? Think again. I'm personal trainer Karen Ross, and my mission is to help you take control and find your way back to health and wellness. Tune in to A Little Bit Fit with me, Karen Ross, here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I am with Smitha Surendran, who is a pharmacist for the Superstore in Ajax. Smitha, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So because it's Heart Month, we thought it would be really great to have you on the show to talk about things that we should look out for, things that we can do to keep a healthy heart, and maybe some things that people had no clue that they should be looking into to make sure that they are in a healthy position. So, Smitha, can you talk to me about hypertension? Before we started this interview, you were talking to me about hypertension, and I don't even know what is hypertension in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, you're not alone. There's very many people who don't know about hypertension. What hypertension is basically the blood pressure that we usually call it as blood pressure in a layman's language. So what we reveal out there is that the survey conducted by Laws revealed that 1 in 5% have had high blood pressure or hypertension, or have never known what hypertension is all about. And it's because it's one of the underdiagnosed conditions. The reason is that there's no symptoms associated with the condition. So that kind of puts it in a very difficult position for people to know that they have hypertension or not, right? So, and when people have high, diabetes as well, the risk of having them having hypertension actually increases twofold. So it's better. It's always what we're focusing as pharmacists is to have a primary prevention method so that people know or understand how they have hypertension. So basically, what I want to tell you is that as a pharmacist, how we help people with managing their blood pressure, or otherwise called hypertension, is by doing reviews and making them understand how their medication works with blood pressure and how their blood pressure has to be in a certain target levels, so that it helps them to catch them early on to prevent heart conditions like strokes and kidney failures and such like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in my head right now trying to picture what hypertension might look like in the body. So if someone has high blood pressure, does that mean there's a faster volume of blood going through the heart and the veins?
So there's two different kinds of numbers that we're talking about. There's a systolic hypertension and the diastolic number. There's two numbers. So whenever you go to the doctor, they tell you your number is like, okay, it's 120 by 80 or 130 by 80 or 70. So technically those numbers don't really mean too much if they don't know what it is exactly. So the upper number, the systolic blood pressure, is the output with what the heart actually kind of puts the blood out to the way, onto the body to circulate. And then the diastolic, the lower number, is basically how the blood gathers back into the lower chambers. So this has to be in sync so that the blood is actually supplied to all the parts of the body. There's no hindrances, and then all the organs are getting enough supply of blood, and they perfectly work in sync. So that's the whole point about. So if you're talking about blood pressure, it's about how the heart outputs and then how the heart receives the blood. So it's a circulation that's going on in the body.
Okay, so what can pharmacists do to help us to make sure that we have a healthy blood pressure?
So it's basically, making sure that, how we can help you with the thing is, obviously, when you come to a pharmacy, we have kiosks when we can actually measure your blood pressure and understand what your numbers are. And we try to tell you, if you have other conditions, it's not like one size fits all. So each person is different, and we need to kind of cater to their what their comorbidities are and what their lifestyle is. So what we're trying to do is that when they come to the pharmacy, we measure their blood pressure and we tell them, okay, so if you have diabetes, so if you have diabetes, your numbers has to be 130 by 80, right? And we help them with diet, what kind of physical exercise they can do, what kind of nutrition they need to kind of follow and stuff like that. And we try to kind of educate them. And then we try to talk to their other healthcare providers if they have physicians or nurses who's looking after them. We try to collaborate with them and kind of make a plan for them to kind of, to get a better picture of their, to lead a healthy lifestyle and kind of basically prevent, strokes and heart diseases. And what we do, what else we do is that smoking cessation. Smoking is a big part. It plays a big part in actually preventing hypertension and heart diseases. So all the pharmacists are actually kind of certified to be a smoking cessation specialist. And if they don't, then they can always get it. And for a fact, I know that most pharmacists are very comfortable in actually helping patients to quit smoking, and we can help them with those kinds as well.
Is stress also a leading factor to heart disease? Oh, we only have about 30 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, stress plays, lifestyle basically plays a very big role, in preventing heart diseases. So that's the reason I told exercise, being active, trying to eat healthy food and trying to reduce sodium. That's the biggest part is sodium. Trying to cut down on your salt intake actually has a bigger role to play in preventing hypertension and blood pressure.
Thank you so much, Smitha. Wonderful information, and make sure you visit your pharmacist. So we'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Oh, thank you for having me. Nice talking to you.
My son is hanging around with a bad group of guys. They vape and drink and don't come from very good homes. I don't want him seeing these friends, but can't exactly stop him either. How do I help him see that they are a bad influence?
Yeah. So on the one hand, we're pushing them out the door, trying to get them to make friends. On the other one, we're going like, no, away, back away. There's a real loyalty to friends, and they're clearly checking something out. And you can't pick your children's friends. You can't. If I was going to talk about it, I would share what my concerns are, and that's why I would say behavior over character. Like if you say they come from bad families, they're a bunch of bad eggs, I don't like your friends, that's insulting their personality and their character.
Right.
So that's not how we attract. What we can say is, I'm concerned because people are using illicit substances, and I'm concerned that that's going to make that an easier or more tempting thing for you. And my love for you, and I want you to stay safe, and I want you to be law-abiding. And so this is concerning. You got to tread gently and hope that they will come to their own determination as you kind of reflect about what you're noticing happening.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So with me on the show is Liliana Lamana, who is a sales associate at Rutledge Jewelers. Liliana, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So I love Rutledge Jewelers, which is why the last time I went in there, I said to Liliana, I want you on the show. Every time I go in there, I get amazing service. I just need to give you guys a big plug right now because also my girls had given me a ring that I absolutely loved. They gave it to me this past Christmas. I lost it on the trails. I end up finding it, which was unbelievable in itself right there that I actually found it. And it was smushed, and it was snow. There was snow out there. It was all smushed, and I brought it into Rutledge Jewelers. And just in a couple of minutes, they banged it out. They put a little sizing ring in there to make sure that it wasn't going to fall off my hand again. I'm so grateful for that. And I not only had that done there, I also had my initial engagement ring, and I took my grandmother's ring, and you guys redesigned it. And it's something that I absolutely love now. And I'm really grateful for you. And I want to make sure that people out there know the beautiful things that you can do for them to either reinvent pieces or to create something from scratch that will be really memorable, or simply to pick something out. And they will help you to pick something out that you're going to love. So, Liliana, I understand that you specialize yourself at Rutledge Jewelers in engraving.
Yes, I do a lot of the engraving at the store. So it's great because we're able to help people personalize a special gift for somebody, or even we can scan like handwriting or something of a loved one and copy that onto a piece that someone can wear forever. So I love being part of that.
Oh, that's so cool. What is the coolest piece that you've been able to work on in regards to engraving?
I've engraved a lot of interesting pieces. I actually engraved on someone brought in an axe that they were gifting to their son, so I engraved on that. I also have engraved on a stethoscope. So I've engraved some pretty interesting pieces.
Very cool. That's awesome. So I know that some people go in there because they want to have a nice memory of maybe someone who's passed, or maybe a child, remember how little they were at that point, and maybe what their handwriting was like. And so can you think of some cool pieces that the store has designed in that regards for people?
If we do a lot of fingerprint jewelry here, a lot of it is like young children having their fingerprints scanned for Mother's Day. Laura Moser, she's one of our head designers here, and she made a really interesting piece. It was a rectangular bar necklace that had the scan of 3 of the children, and each child wrote their name. We scanned the handwriting and put it with the corresponding fingerprint.
Oh, that's super sweet. What a great idea. Did you help to come up with the whole shape and design of that?
I helped with the scanning of the handwriting and engraving.
Okay, cool. Cool. I just meant like
Yeah.
the person who came to you, did they already have the idea of the bar? No matter whoever came up with the idea of it is very creative. That's,
Yeah.
I guess that's what we want
Yeah,
to go with
Laura
that.
actually put that together. Yeah, the customer really wanted to incorporate all three into a similar piece, and that was the idea. Laura just kind of took it and made it into this amazing, memorable piece for that person.
Oh, that is amazing. So I know this is a little bit of a dark topic, but there's a lot of people who are, let's say, getting divorced or separated, or if you've lost a loved one. And so you maybe have some jewelry pieces that just don't feel right anymore. And so I love how you can do the redesign of it, but I also understand that because of this, you also have an amazing vintage collection there. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, so we call it our Vintage and Estate collection. It's one of our largest showcases in the store, and we have a large variety of pieces that people have inherited, or maybe they had extra jewelry they're not wearing anymore. And it's a great opportunity for people to have their pieces there on consignment, but then also for customers to come and find something truly unique. I have a few vintage pieces on myself. So this pearl necklace my fiance gave me for my 25th birthday, and then this bangle bracelet here, we get a lot of these in. So it's amazing because it just breathes new life into pieces that have maybe been sitting around and not getting a lot of wear.
Beautiful. Now, do you happen to be sensitive to energy? Because jewelry, furniture, clothing, it holds the energy of the owner who used to have it. So when you first received these pieces, did you feel any energy from it? Are you just like, this woman is crazy? What is she asking me right now?
I don't really personally get that, but there are some pieces that actually like kind of speak to me based on my own personality and my own style. But we do have a lot of customers that come in and they're looking through the showcase and something just literally jumps out and speaks to them, say, I have to have that piece. So we have a lot of that.
Oh, that's amazing. Liliana, I'm so glad we were able to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me on.
So I recommend you go check out Rutledge Jewelers. Do you guys have beautiful decorations all set out for, it's going to be actually past St. Patty's Day. But anyways, you guys always have beautifully decorated storefronts. So thank you so much. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
When it comes to drugs, how much freedom is too much for kids?
Drugs are out there. Will my teen feel free to say no around other kids?
I didn't live drug-free when I was younger. Can I admit that to my kids?
Drugs worry me, but how can I feel free to talk about it with my kids?
Questions about drugs and kids? Drug-Free Kids Canada.
Hey everybody out in TV land, are you a struggling artist looking to catch a break? I'm the BMD and I'm starting a new show called Meet the Band. My new show showcases up-and-coming artists locally in the Durham region. The show promotes the artist and their creative content on the Rogers Cable Network. So tune in and connect with me at the BMD Podcast at gmail.com.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. Guess what? The fall fair is coming back to Uxbridge. Whoop, whoop. And I have Laurie St. John, one of the board members of the fall fair, as well as Rob Ashton, who's the VP of the fall fair, to talk to us about how it's going to look this year. So, Rob and Laurie, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jackie, for having us. We're super excited to be here and to talk about Uxbridge's Fall Fair.
I am very excited about the Fall Fair. I have gone through withdrawal without the tractor pull for a couple of years, right? It's been a long time. So what is the Fall Fair going to look like? Is it going to be morphed, or, from kind of what it's been or how it's going to be this year, or is it going to be like the past, like the good old days? What's happening?
I can take this, Laurie. Yeah, so we're planning on bringing some of our regular stuff back from pre-COVID times. The tractor pulls getting planned. The demolition derby is all set up and ready to go. There'll be stuff down at the band shell. The ag tent will be back, and the midway is all booked and ready to go. So we're hoping to bring things back to the way it was.
That is so exciting. My favorite event is the Smash Up Derby. And from where I live, if I'm not at the Smash Up Derby, I can hear it. You know, you can hear the cars like revving up and everything. And it's just such a beautiful part of the fair, as well as the tractor pull. The tractor pull, of course, I can also hear from my house. It's really exciting that is all coming back. So I understand there's something exciting about the Midway. You guys are looking into some online sales potentially. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, we've been trying to figure out how to make it work. Not sure the full details yet. So just keep an eye on our Facebook page and the website to see what comes of that.
Okay, so in regards to the potential online sales, you're looking into it, which is really exciting. Could it potentially include your fee to get into the fair as well, or do you think it will be separate?
Yeah, I don't think we had talked about that, did we, Laurie?
We haven't talked about that. I mean, I know that we talked about, certainly the community is fabulous from a support standpoint, and we're a not-for-profit group. So we, a lot of our revenue to cover the operating costs of the fair do come from fair admissions. We haven't, I don't think, looked at an opportunity to move that online. But certainly it's something that we can take back and would be excited if the community thinks that that's something that's of interest to them.
Okay. Well, I think it's whatever it turns into, no matter what, it's very exciting because we've been missing this fall fair. So are you looking for any volunteers to assist with the planning of it and the delivery of it?
Yeah, there's always opportunities for volunteers in every nonprofit organization. But yeah, the Uxbridge Fall Fair is always looking for people to step up and help us run the event, especially during that week. But there are a couple of spaces on our board available as well if you want to join in.
Okay, so you're looking for a couple of board members, and in regards to the time, the actual days of the event, what type of volunteering are you searching for? What type of roles are available?
So during the week prior to the fair, there's a setup of fencing and of displays in the buildings, and we're cleaning out the buildings, sweeping them up, getting them prepared, and then setting up the displays for the fair weekend. And then after fair or during the fair, there's we've pretty much got everything set up for that, but after the fair there's cleanup, of course, and everything, and that mostly happens on the Sunday and the Monday after the fair.
Okay. Now, in the past, there's also been the art entries and baking entries and chicken entries. Is all that stuff going to happen again this year?
Yeah, we've got our home crafts planned. That's the art area as well as the baking. We were super lucky through COVID to be able to make use of the generous opportunities that some of our local businesses have provided, such as the Bridge Social and other local businesses to run home craft even during COVID. But we are excited to getting back to those in-person exhibits and being able to, in particular for those that have young kids that like to exhibit their art, to add and submit those entries and be able to walk through and firsthand see the different entries that are made, be proud of the work out of the community. So yes, definitely home craft, baking, baking. I'll let Rob talk more around the agricultural side of things, but we are moving in that direction, really looking at coming back to our all-encompassing fair.
Okay, so we have less than a minute left. Rob, do you want to talk about our agricultural side of things or even entertainment?
Yeah, so the reason we want to get on here and get us promoted was that people need to start growing things. Well, not right now, but right in the spring. So that's why we're here to promote that the fair is coming back with a full slate of events. So check the website for when we get our fair book out, and then you can see what classes we'll have, crops wise and plants wise and vegetable wise. So you can start growing that stuff in the spring.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you, Lori and Rob. Great to have you on the show. And we can have you on the show again when it's closer to the date. Get everyone all excited. So we'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
It's about sharing and caring. It's about doing and belonging. It's about living life to its fullest. And it's about laughing out loud. We are L'Arche Canada, and we're about witnessing and sharing the gifts of all people. Learn more about us today.
Hi, I'm Constable Darrell Rice, Durham Regional Police Service. Tune into Rogers Cable 10 to watch me on Seniors Talk with DRPS, where we'll talk about all kinds of amazing information and community programs for you, our seniors in Durham Region.
Hello, Glenn Ward here for Knights of Columbus TV Bingo. Every Tuesday at 7 o'clock right here on Rogers TV, your chance to win up to $5,000 with all proceeds going to local charities. Come play Knights of Columbus TV Bingo right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So a couple of weeks ago, I had an opportunity to interview Roger Hunt, who is the GM of the Oshawa Generals, and he told us all about the OHL Outdoor Showcase that was taking place on March the 14th. So they had that game. Unfortunately, they didn't win, but it was an experience of a lifetime. I am so incredibly excited that they had an opportunity to play that outdoor game. Pretty wild. So that is a wrap of another episode of Uxbridge Scugog Life. If you want to be on the show, send us an email. So you can email us at uxbridgescugoglife@rci.rogers.com. So that's Uxbridge Scugog Life at rci.rogers.com. So let's get outside. Let's enjoy this spring weather. Be careful. The trails are still a little bit icy, but who knows? Maybe by the time you're watching this, it is all melted and done. So play safe, get out there, have some fun, enjoy the nice weather, and we'll see you next week for more on Uxbridge Scugog Life. Bye.
Call the Rogers TV Viewer Response Line. Email us or connect with us on social media.
It's so convenient to grab a carton of milk. It took over 60 years to get to this point. It sounds odd, but if you didn't have a cow in the early 1900s, you'd rely on a family farm. The Weary family farm was one of the contributors to the production and distribution of our favorite cookie companion via scoop and pail or by bottle. Then, in the 1930s, with the demand for pasteurized milk, the Weary family partnered with 10 local farmers, raising the funds